How many people ready to get started? All right. Let's do a quick review. Having a great attitude. Strong belief in your business. Setting goals. Being motivated. Being positive are all wonderful things. Maybe even 97% of your business, but doesn't work very good, does it? What's the little 3%? If we know exactly what to say and what to do, we haven't made. So people ask me all over the world, gee, what skills should I learn first? The most common ones that people ask me is this. How do I get appointments with people? I know it's one of the questions here saying, well, gee, does it work long distance? Does it work person to person? But how do you get appointments with people? How many people here have ever had a little bit of trouble getting an appointment to talk to somebody? People say this, I spend my entire week looking for somebody that will listen to me instead of spending my entire week giving presentations. You know, I try to talk to my friends, but they don't want to listen. My coworkers run to the other side of the office. I bought some leads. They don't want to talk to me or listen to a presentation. It says, I do all these things, and nobody will give me an appointment. Does this sound pretty familiar? Yeah. Sound like real life? Exactly. So how do you get appointments with people? Let's go right to work. If you were to talk to 10 people, how many of those 10 people would actually give you an appointment for a presentation? What would you say? 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, 1, 2, maybe even 3. How many people here would be happy to get 2 out of 10 people to give you an appointment? Of course, that would mean 8 out of 10 people giving you rejection. That'd be kind of crummy, wouldn't it? But most people say 1 or 2 people out of 10. Now, earlier today, we talked about the principle of reaction. So if only 1 or 2 people out of 10 are giving you an appointment, what might cause that? What we say and what we do. So if we change what we say and what we do, maybe we could change it. Imagine for a moment that you could get an appointment with 5 out of every 10 people you talk to. How would your business change? Ooh, what would change? I'd be 5 times bigger, okay? We'd be more confident, wouldn't we? What else? Bigger paycheck. Less rejection. More people at meetings. More belief in our business. Boy, this all be working. Better attitude. We'd be motivated. We'd be positive. It'd be wonderful. How many people here would like to learn a skill where you could get 5 out of 10 people to give you an appointment for a presentation? Wow, look at all these hands. Excellent. Unfortunately, tonight we're not going to cover that skill. Instead, we're going to cover a different skill tonight. I'd like to cover tonight a skill on how you get an appointment with almost 10 out of every 10 people you talk to. Fair enough? Then later on, we'll go back and learn that one for 5 out of 10 later if you want. Or maybe learn this one halfway. Whatever you'd like to do. Well, how many people here believe you can get an appointment with almost 100% of the people you talk to? We got a skeptical group here, don't we? But I tell you what, let's find out how to do it. And once we learn the skill, then we might say, you know what? Maybe we could do that. Because it sounds kind of fantastic, doesn't it? To get 10 out of 10. I mean, if you had 10 out of 10 people give you an appointment for a presentation, what would happen? You just go from presentation to presentation to presentation. Life would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Well, let's see how we can do it. Simple skill. Here's why most of us don't get 10 out of 10 right now. It's because of what we say and what we do. Here's a typical example. Let's say I'm a brand new distributor. I'm standing right next to you, a prospect at work. We're standing by the coffee machine. We've been there maybe 3-4 hours. So, well, one typical example. And while we're sipping coffee, I turn to you and I say, boy, do I got an opportunity for you. What's the first thing to cross your mind? Yeah, run, save yourself, right? Put a coworker in front of you. Garlic around the neck. Maybe you're going to say, oh, hey, good time for us to go back to work. It's not going to be pleasant. In other words, you're not going to be too enthusiastic. But, hey, don't worry about me. It doesn't bother me because I'm motivated. I listened to a tape this morning. So I continue on. I say, well, it's a great opportunity. You need to come down to this opportunity meeting at the hotel tonight. You know, traffic's bad and stuff, but come on down. It's great. It's going to give you financial freedom. It's going to give you time freedom. You can leverage your income. Come on down. And what are you thinking? No way. You're thinking, man, I really don't want to go down there. So what are you going to say? I'm busy. You've heard that, huh? Sound familiar? Yeah, you're going to say, I'm busy. Tonight I got to pet the cat, change the air on the tires. I'm just totally tied up. I can't go on. But does that bother me? Oh, no, because I listened to 2 tapes this morning. I'm motivated. So I continue on and say, here's your chance to fire your boss, reach your goals, travel the world. The family will be proud of you. Here's your chance to show your love for your family, to achieve your wildest imagination, and blah, 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 blah. And what are you going to say? You're saying, man, how do I get rid of this jerk? So what are you going to do? You're going to say, well, he's going to keep pestering me, so I better do something. So you say, before I even go down to that opportunity meeting and even check it out, tell me the name of your company first, huh? How many people have ever heard that one? So I say, name of the company? Really can't do that. Because I've told you the name of the company, you might prejudge. And you need to come down to the meeting and see the whole thing at one time. So not just a little piece of the pie, but the whole pie. You can't prejudge. So when you get down to the meeting, then we'll tell you the name of the company. How many people here are coming? But I'm still there because I listened to 2 tapes and read a book this morning. So you say, well, you try this. Maybe this will work. Well, tell me a little bit about it first to see if I'm interested before I come down. How many people here have ever heard that? And I say, whoa, really can't do that. It's kind of visual. You got to be there to see the whole thing at one time so it makes sense. So when you get down there, then you'll find out what it's about. Are you coming? No. Well, I listened to 2 tapes this morning. I read 2 books. I'm totally motivated, but I'm thinking, boy, I'm not getting through to you, so I better go for the heavy guns. I'm going to go for the guilt approach. Oh, yeah. So I say to you, well, I know you don't want to come down, but you owe it to me. We've been friends for 15 years. When you hurt your back last winter, I shoveled your sidewalk. When your daughter needed a kidney, I gave her 2. You owe it to me. Come on down. Now what are you going to do? You're thinking, oh, man, I really don't want to go down there. But I don't want to give those kidneys back either. So you got to think of some excuse. So you say, well, I tell you what, I would really like to come down. Sounds great, but unfortunately, I won't be able to get down there tonight because my car broke down. By the time I take the bus home and everything, just won't be able to get a turnaround time to get there in time. And I would say what? Yeah, no problem. I'll pick you up. Boy, you guys are right on cue. You've heard this before, haven't you? Yeah. I'll pick you up around 6:30. We'll be there by 7. Get a good seat. Meeting starts at 7:30, which is 8:30 in MLM time. Only lasts for 1 hour until 10 o'clock, at which time 5 people will gang up and you try to sell you something and get out there around 10:30, be home by 11. Only 4.5 hours out of your life. Come on down. And you know what you're going to say? Sounds great. Man, it sounds so great, so awesome. It's fantastic. I tell you what, it sounds so great. Don't even bother picking me up. I'll meet you down there. I'll catch you right down there myself. Let me see. Then what happens? Yeah, they never make it. But they figure that's the only way to get rid of you. How many people here think this scenario sounds just a little bit familiar? Yeah. Would you agree with me? It's what we say and what we do that makes a difference. And that's why we only get 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10. But we can change all that by learning the simple skill. As you know from today, all these skills are simple and easy, and you can learn a skill on how to get up to 100% of the people you talk to give you an appointment for a presentation with just 2 sentences. How many people here like to learn those 2 sentences? Here they are. First sentence goes like this. Now, hold your skepticism until you've seen the 2 sentences. Fair enough? I know you're all skeptical, but just hold your skepticism until you see it, and then we'll test it and see how it works in real life. First sentence goes like this. I can give you a complete presentation. Comma. But it would take an entire minute. Period. Next sentence goes like this. When could you set aside a whole minute? Question mark. Everybody have it? Okay, here's these 2 sentences. Let's put them to work. Ready to test them? All right, I'm standing next to you at work. We've been there 3-4 hours drinking coffee. I say, boy, do I got an opportunity for you. Not exactly the best opening, right? I say, boy, do I have an opportunity for you. And you say, oh, no. And I say, stop. Don't worry. Don't panic. It's okay. Let me grab my notes. I can give you a complete presentation, but it would take an entire minute. When could you set aside a whole minute? What might you say? Yeah, right now. In almost 100% of the cases, we're going to say, how about right now? And why would we do that? Get it over with. All right. Boy, tell me now so I don't have to go to an opportunity meeting. Or curiosity. Maybe I'm kind of curious. Why? What it's about. I can find out in 1 minute, have it over with. What else? Maybe we think, oh, it's only 1 minute. I keep my sales resistance up for a whole minute. Or please give me the presentation now because I don't want you calling me back later at the house asking for an appointment. Do it now. Oh, in 1 minute. There's no time for salesmanship, hype, or any of that other junk. Just barely enough time for a few facts, and I can say yes, no, or ask a question or 2, and it'll be over with. How many people here think that in almost 100% of the cases, most people are going to say, how about right now? Just from those 2 simple sentences. And you say, wait a minute. Does it work over the phone? Let's try this. Somebody calls you up and said, hey, I just saw your ad, business card, brochure, flyer, something. Right? They're checking out and say, hi, I've seen your brochure or business card, and tell me a little bit about your business. Is there some sales resistance right now? Yeah. And you say this, well, just a moment, let me grab my notes. And you say to the caller, I can give you a complete presentation, comma, but it would take an entire minute. When could you set aside a whole minute? What might the caller say? How about right now? Excellent. Last person I called was 45 minutes and I still didn't even learn the name of the company. Yeah. Do you think the attitude of the caller would change a little bit? Oh, yeah, in a big way. So instead of that sales resistance, they're going to say, hey, excellent, 1 minute, go for it. Whole different attitude. But hey, we won't know how this works unless we experience it, right? So how many people here like to experience these 2 sentences? Here's what we're going to do. Everybody's sitting next to somebody that will still talk to you? All right? Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I want one person to be the prospect. If you're the prospect, remember what you have to do, right? Sit there quietly, stare blankly into space just like a real-life prospect. And the other person's going to say, I can give you a complete presentation, but it would take an entire minute. When can you set aside a whole minute? And I want you to check to see just how you feel when you say that. Because how you feel is going to make a big difference, because you're going to say, can I teach this to my aunt? Can I teach this to my next-door neighbor? Can I teach it to my brother-in-law? Is this something they're going to feel comfortable doing? So let's give it a whirl. Everybody grab a partner, and let's test these 2 sentences. Let's begin. Everybody have a chance? Wasn't too hard. Let's do a survey. Number one, how many people here had a little bit of fun doing that? Number two, how many people here think you can teach this skill to your downline in 3 or 4 months? But how many people now believe it's possible to get an appointment with somebody with just 2 simple sentences? Easy. So we were skeptical before, but once we learned the skill, it's easy. How many people here think your aunt, your neighbor, or somebody like that can say this and be comfortable? Within their comfort zone? Yeah. Something easy. Well, I know what you're thinking. This skill is probably the greatest skill ever in the history of Western civilization. Going to change the world as we know it? This is the most fantastic thing ever since sliced bread and 7-Up. I just can't believe how awesome it is. And I can see that, wow, this is so great. It's going to change my business forever. I'm going to have tons and tons of appointments, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, just like this. Instead, all week I'm going to be talking to people instead of looking for people to talk to. Everybody's going to give me an appointment for a presentation. It's so wonderful that, oh man, it may only have just one little flaw. What could that be? Yeah, how am I going to get my whole presentation down to a minute? Yeah. Well, look at the bright side. I got you halfway there, right? So, what skill would you like to learn next? 1 minute presentation. Oh, excellent choice. Yeah. So, let's learn the skill of a 1 minute presentation. By the way, how many people here believe you can give a complete entire presentation in just 1 minute? You guys never learn, do you? Because once we learn the skill, we'll all be raising our hands. And the reason we don't believe we can, the reason we're skeptical is we don't know the skill. So let's get started. 1 minute presentation. Now, first of all, let me describe what I mean by 1 minute presentation. Yeah. I don't mean an infomercial. I don't mean a teaser. I don't mean something to get an appointment for later. What I mean by a 1 minute presentation is a complete, entire, beginning to end, total presentation with all of the facts the prospects need to know to make an intelligent decision whether to join, say yes I'd like to join, or no I don't, or maybe have a question or two. That's what I mean by a 1 minute presentation. So we all clear on that? It's not some gimmick, not something for an appointment later. It's everything in 1 minute. All the facts you need to know to make an intelligent decision to join or not. So let's get started with our obligation. We are obligated to our prospects. We have a responsibility to give them all the information they need to know to make an intelligent decision. To say yes, no, or maybe have a question or two. That's our obligation. Because we don't want a prospect coming back to us later and saying, gee, if you would have told me everything, I would have joined. I wasted 2 years. We don't want a prospect coming with a machete from this afternoon. Remember that? Because we didn't tell them? Yeah. So that's our obligation, but our obligation stops there. We are not responsible for our prospects' decisions. Remember, we're not responsible for the spouse they chose. We're not responsible for the job they chose. We're not responsible if they want to do our business or not, but we are responsible to give them the facts, and the rest is up to them. They know what's going on in their life. Everybody clear on this? We all agree on our responsibility. What to do is give them all the facts they need to make an intelligent decision to join or not. As you know, we write Fortune Now newsletter. And if you've never seen Fortune Now newsletter, please go to fortunenow.com. FORTUNENOW.com. Go to fortunenow.com. You can read a couple of the back issues there. You can get on a free newsletter list so you can get tips every 2 weeks on what to say and what to do. By the way, how many people here would like to get a free newsletter? By email. All you have to do is go to fortunenow.com and type in your email address. Every 2 weeks you get we have 2 great sponsoring tips. We have 4 great opening sentences. We have some worthless sponsor jokes. A few resources, all free, all generic, and it's free for you and anybody in your downline to get. We have a little over 31,000.